Good morning, everyone. In today's class, we are going to discuss about concept of frequency reuse. So, what is frequency reuse? Frequency reuse means the same frequency can be used in different geographic locations. Different geographic locations. The best example for a frequency reuse is FM radio. We are already know that in FM radio having a frequency ranges from 88 megahertz to 108 megahertz. The same frequency can be used in other locations also. Same frequency can be used in other locations also. So what is the use of this frequency reuse? So the frequency reuse concept is increase the spectrum efficiency. Increase the spectrum efficiency. But if the system is not properly utilized means a serious interference may occur. That is called as co-channel interference. That means adjacent channels are using the same frequency. Frequency reuse can be used in different geographic locations. Same frequency can be used in different geographic locations, but there is a minimum distance to be maintained between the two geographic locations. If the distance is not maintained, a serious interference may be occur. The interference is called as co-channel interference. So here the pair of frequencies are considered for full duplex operation. A radio channel F1 is used in one geographic zone or cell C1, and another frequency the coverage radius is can be used in another geographic locations. Coverage radius is at a distance of D, capital D. So there should be a minimum distance between two geographic locations. And the ratio is D by R. Q is equal to D by R. That is a minimum distance. Must be maintained. Q is equal to D by R. The frequency reuse concept can be used in either time domain or either frequency domain. The frequency reuse in the time domain result in same frequency can be used in different time slots. That is called as TDM, time division multiplexing. And we already know that the frequency reuse in space domain is divided into two types. First one is same frequency assigned to two geographic areas, such as FM radio stations, using the same frequency in different areas. And second one is same frequency repeatedly used in same geographic location system. The scheme is used in similar systems actually. So there are many co-channel cells in the system. Total frequency allotted is divided into k frequency reuse patterns. So this is k frequency reuse patterns, and first one in first time we are already see that k is equal to 4. K is equal to 4 spectrum. Second one is k is equal to 7, and k is equal to 12, and k is equal to last one is k is equal to j square plus ij plus j square is equal to 19 cells. So 4 cell reuse pattern, 7 cell reuse pattern, 12 cell reuse pattern, and 19 cell reuse pattern here. So already discussed this. There should be a minimum distance between the two geographic locations. The distance between the two geographic locations is capital D. And the quality factor Q is maintained here is Q is equal to D by R, where D is equal to 3.46 into radius. That is for K is equal to 4 cell reuse pattern. If we are using the 4-cell reuse pattern, the minimum distance is 3.46 r. If we are using a 7-cell reuse pattern, means the minimum distance is 4.6 r, and 12-cell reuse pattern means the minimum distance is 6 r. 19-cell reuse pattern means the minimum distance maintained is 7.55 into r. Next, co-channel interference reduction factor. So we are already discussing that co-channel interference. So what is co-channel interference? The same frequency used by adjacent channels. So the interference is called as co-channel interference. Here, assume that the cell size of all cells is roughly the same. So the cell size is determined by coverage area of signal strength in each cell. As long as the cell size is fixed, co-channel interference is independent of the transmitted power. So the co-channel interference is a function of parameter q is defined as q is equal to d by r. Always we have to maintain a distance of d by r. Co-channel interference factor. Co-channel interference factor C by E is equal to C by epsilon of k is equal to 1 to k1 ik. And also the co-channel interference can be either at cell size or either at mobile unit. The co-channel interference is much greater than the carrier to interference ratio C by I. The mobile unit is caused by 6 interfering sites. So C by I means carrier to interference ratio. Carrier to interference ratio. These are 6 effective interference cells. In the first type, there exists 6 interfering cells. So they are located at a minimum distance of t. So there is a chance of occurring interference in the first type. While coming to the second type here, the number of in second type the number of cells are reduced by 3. So the distance is increased in second cell. So as compared to the first cell, the co-channel interference is reduced in second cell. Reduced in second cell. Why? Because the distance is very large in the second type. So here is carrier to interference for normal case in an omnidirectional system. There are 2 cases considered. First one is signal and co-channel interference received by mobile unit. And second one is the signal and co-channel interference received by cell side. So C by is equal to r power minus gamma by 6 into t whole power minus gamma. That is equal to q power r by 6. We know that q is equal to d by r here. And q is equal to 6 into 3 by into whole power 1 by gamma. and the path loss slope is equal to about 4 in a mobile radio environment. So this is minimum path loss q is equal to d by r, that is equal to 4.41. So q is equal to root 3. If 4.41 value is substituted in q, so that is a k is equal to 7 cell reuse pattern. The co-channel interference from 6 interference. First one is receiving at cell site. Second diagram is receiving at mobile unit. Next, cell splitting. So why cell splitting? To utilize the spectrum efficiently, the frequency scheme is one of the concept, and also second one is cell splitting. These two are used to increase our spectrum efficiency. So when the traffic density is increased in particular area, so the frequency served by that particular area is Fi, and CA cannot provide the enough mobile cells, enough mobile calls. That is, the cell site could not provide the channels. So in that case, I was simply saying that simply in an area, if the traffic density is increased, the present cell site cannot serving the all users, cannot serving the all users. In that case, we are using cell splitting. Cell splitting means the larger cell, the original cell, can be split into smaller cells. Can be split into smaller cells. Usually, the new area is 1/2 of the original radius. The new cell area is 1/2 of the original cell. There are two ways of cell splitting. There are two ways of cell splitting. One is new cell radius is equal to old cell radius by 2. Another one is new cell area is equal to old cell area by 2. So this is cell splitting. This is your original cell actually. This total is original cell, and the original cell is can be divided into 4 cells here. And also there are two kinds of cell splittings. So new cell radius is equal to old cell radius by 2 here, and new cell area is equal to old cell area by 4. And before that, so there are two types of cell splittings. One is permanent splitting, and another one is dynamic splitting. As the number of channels increases, the transmitted power is also increases. So when traffic load is increases, the transmitted power must be increases. So for example, the actual service cutover should be set at the low traffic point, usually midnight at the weekend. Hopefully only the few calls will be dropped, because the cutover is assuming the downtime of the system, 2 hours. So coming to this permanent cell splitting means that should be used in higher population areas. Higher population areas, where the cell splitting is needed permanently. Dynamic cell splitting. Dynamic cell splitting means We are going dynamically splitting the cells into different cells only in the busy hours. For example, that should be used in dynamic cell splitting is used at cricket stadiums or football stadiums. And during 1 or 2 hours or 3 hours, in that time only the crowd will be very high. In that case, we are using the dynamic cell splitting. And maximum number of frequency channels per cell. The maximum number of frequency channels per cell n is closely related to average calling time in the system. So average calling time in the system is equal to Qi into T by 60 air lengths. Qi into 60, Qi into T by 60 air lengths. The traffic load can be measured in units air lengths. Where the value of Qi is a function of blocking probability B and the average calling time is T and the number of channels is N. So Qi is equal to F into Bf Bt N. Sorry. Qi is equal to F of B into T to N. So coming to the next one, this is the last topic in your first unit. Consideration of components in cellular system. Here we must also consider the components of the cellular system such as mobile radio, antenna, cell site, controller and MTS. In the above diagram, it is observing that the number of elements are considered is mobile unit, cell site, antennas, and also controller and also MTSO. MTSO, mobile telephone switching office. So these components would affect our system design if we do not choose the right one. So in general view, the cellular system is, even though electronic industry is also application, Electronic Industry Association and FCC have specified standards of radio environment at the cell sites and mobile unit. We still need to concern about the equipment. The serious affecting choice of antenna switching equipment data links must be increased. So in the above diagram, we are observing that this is a called party. This is MTSO is the heart of the telephone network. This must be in the cellular mobile communication. This is the heart of telephone system or a network. And a landline party daily call, the call will be linked to the MTSO. After MTSO, it will be travel to the channel. It will travel to the channel and reach at the cell site. And cell site is having some antennas transmitting and receiving. So that the mobile unit can receive the antennas, receive the signals. So here antenna having cell site antennas and mobile antennas is here. Antenna has antenna pattern and antenna gain and antenna tilting and antenna height. So all affect these cellular design. And also the antenna pattern can be omnidirectional, directional, or maybe sharp in both the vertical and horizontal planes. The gain of parameters for the transmitted power, different antenna patterns and antenna gains at the cell site, and the mobile unit would affect the system performance so that the consideration of system is designed. So what is switching equipment? The capacity of the switching equipment in cellular system is not based on the number of switch ports, but the capacity of processor is associated with the switches. In a big cellular system, this process should be very large. So coming to the data links, these are the data links and voice links. So here you can write that. The thick line indicates the data lines and dotted line indicates the voice lines. So these data links are used to carry multiple channel data up to 10 kbps data transmitted per channel from cell site to the MTSO. This fast speed data transmission cannot be passed through a regular telephone line. Therefore, the data links are must be needed. So this is about the different components in cellular system. And this is your first unit. Once again, repeat different topics in this first unit. So first, there are some limitations of conventional mobile systems. So that is limited service capability, poor service performance, and inefficient frequency spectrum utilization. So this is limited service capability. Here the handoff mechanism is most important. Handoff is a process of automatically changing the frequency when mobile unit is moving from one geographic location to the another geographic location. F1 is the one geographic location and F2 is another geographic location. Poor service performance. And also inefficient frequency spectrum utilization. We already discussed these three. These are comes under limitations of conventional mobile communication system. So major elements to design a cellular system. Major approaches to achieve the ideal goal are single sideband, which divides the allotted frequency band into maximum number of channels. So by using a technology single sideband, we are dividing the allotted frequency band into number of channels and frequency reuse concept and also frequency hope concepts may be used. Next, basic cellular system. We already discussed this. MTSO is the mobile telephone switching office. Is there. Is the heart of this basic cellular system. It includes switches and processors and also cell sites. There is a link between the cell site and MTSO, and there is a link between LAN telephone network and MTSO. So MTSO consists of mobile unit, cell site, MTSO, and also connectors. MTSO is the central coordination and cellular administration process. So this is the operation of cellular system. How a mobile unit is initiating a call, how a network originated call is there, what is the handoff procedure. Next, performance criteria of cellular system. And this is the service quality. Service quality in service quality, the main elements are coverage, required grade of service, and number of dropped calls. As large as the system should serve an area as large as possible. And also the transmitted power must be very high to eliminate the weak spots. This is the service quality. A number of dropped calls means a high drop rate could be caused by either coverage problems. So call dropping means that is comes under coverage problems. So these are the special features we already know that. In our mobiles also these features are there. Call forwarding, call waiting, automatic roaming, voice to box, and need not paying any extra charge for these special features. And and also we are all discussing this uniqueness of mobile in a radio environment. So consider antenna height of 3200 kilometers. There existed two paths, one is direct path and another one is reflected path. To reach the mobile unit, the direct path is at an angle of theta 1 and indirect path is at an angle of theta 2. Next, fading. Fading means fluctuations in signal amplitude. What is fading means? Fluctuations in signal amplitude. So uh, these are all fading signals. The amplitude is fluctuates here. When the mobile unit is moving, this type of fading is occurred when the mobile unit is moving. Service fading and long-term fading. These are the fading characteristics in the buildings. And delay spread. Delay spread means when transmitted to the receiver, there are number of ways to reach at the receiver. One is direct path and another one is indirect path. The path length of two signals are very different. An operation of cellular system, mobile unit initialization, mobile originated call, network originated call termination, and handoff procedure. Hexagonal shaped cells. We are also discussing this hexagonal shaped cells. Hexagonal shaped cell will cover the entire area and there is no overlaps. But practically it is not possible. Only ideal case we are using only this hexagonal shapes in only in ideal case, not in practical case. So these are the hexagonal shaped cells and circular shells. In ideal case, the cells are like that. And analog cellular systems and digital cellular system. Digital cellular system means we are using nowadays we are using the features like GSM, TDMA, CDMA, a personal digital computer. These are the advanced technologies. The concept of frequency reuse. Same frequency can be used in different geographic locations. If the distance is not properly maintained, a serious interference may occur. That is called as co-channel interference. The co-channel interference must be reduced. The distance, the co-channel interference must be used when the two geographic locations are maintaining some distance. That is called Q is equal to D by R. So this is the two geographic locations. They are different. They are far away at a distance of B. So frequency the system can be used in a frequency domain or either time domain. So this is the 4-cell reuse pattern, 7-cell reuse pattern, 12-cell reuse pattern, and 19-cell reuse pattern. So all these reuse patterns can be maintained a distance of 3.46 or when k is equal to 4 is used. When k is equal to 7 used, that is d is equal to 4.6 r. When k is equal to 12, the distance is 6 r. When k is equal to 19, the distance is 7.55 r. And C by I, co-channel interference reduction pattern. A carrier to interference ratio must be decreased in the sense in the factor of C by E is equal to C by K is equal to 1 to K1 IK. Next, coming to the cell splitting. A large area can be divided into smaller areas when traffic load is increases. And cell splitting is two types: dynamic cell splitting and permanent cell splitting. Permanent cell splitting is used when splitting the cells here permanently. So when the population is increases, number of traffic when the traffic is increases, the area should be splitting permanently. Next, dynamic cell splitting means dynamic cell splitting is used at temporary based on temporary purpose. That is, for example, at football stadiums, cricket stadiums. At the busy hours, the crowd are very large. So in that case, we are going to use dynamic cell splitting. This is uh, considerations of elements of cellular system, considerations of components of cellular system. So this is the end of our first unit, and next class we are going to continue the second unit. Thank you.